our #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. Have you heard of bottle craft? Well, tonight we will meet a woman who turns bottles that are usually discarded into beautiful pieces. She calls it sacred creations and designs. Megan Shepard reports.
Stacey Rogers worked at a local resort a few years ago in the VIP lounge where they only served premium alcohol beverages. She says that is where she began to notice the unique shapes of the bottles and began to collect them. Rogers says that in 2016, she decided to explore her crafty side and started decorating the bottles.
Some of them are Bahamian designs, as well as I love little glitz and glamour and all of those things. So what I did, I just decided to put a little rhinestones, little sparkles, glitters, and then I started to venture off into the little burlap to try and make it more Bahamian so that, you know, if I'm going to distribute to the tourists, they would have an idea what the Bahamian burlap is all about, what the Bahamian colors are all about.
She says the reception of her bottles has been going quite well. Rogers says that at her current job, a manager noticed one of her pieces and fell in love.
And he decides to come up with an idea, and he allowed me to set up a display in their timeshare office. So my work is on display at one of our local resorts in Grand Bahama. So I do have intentions of reaching out to other business places as well as like restaurants, if they're opening their restaurants, and if they would like something different for their centerpieces, you know, I'm reaching out to them so they can just go ahead and display it.
Rogers admits that she was not always crafty, but happened to stumble into this new talent. She's encouraging others to explore their unique gifts.
I would say to especially the young people out there, there's a lot of things that you can do in the craft world. There's a lot of things, and then, you know, the island now is starting to bring in a lot of tourists. So if we could now focus more on the tourists, you know, I think we could be able to sustain ourselves and not be so worried about, you know, the government trying to help us out. But if we could venture into little small ideas, I think it'll be really good.
Now, Rogers also began creating wreaths for special occasions and even as candle holders. Megan Shepard, ZNS Network News.
If you're looking for somewhere to go this August Monday holiday, the annual High Rock Sea Fest is among the cultural events taking place on Grand Bahama. Started some 4 years ago, the Down Home Festival is held each year to introduce residents to the East End hospitality. This year, the festival included a gospel concert slated for this Sunday and a fishing tournament and cultural festive planned for the Monday. Chairman of the committee, Pastor Artisan says they have introduced new fun events this time around.
We ask all of our brothers and sisters from East, West, North, and South that are listening to us to come and be a part of the function here in East Grand Bahama. You won't want to miss a holiday. The children's, there will be games. We're going to go back to hopscotch. There's a new one called fish scotch. Those who love fish, you'll be able to go down and the Natalie can go down and do the fish scotch. If you don't know it, we'll teach you how to do it. And the old way of conch hooking, where go back to the old style of it, the old folks show you how to hook the conch with the conch hook. And other events, watermelon eating contest. Those persons who like to fish, you can come bring your line and go fishing from the rock. And you can win yourself a prize of a round trip ticket sponsored by Western Air. Those persons fishing from the boat, there's a $500 cap for those who with the most pounds of the fish and the largest fish and the variety of fish.
This year, the committee plans to recognize 2 outstanding residents of High Rock, Ruth Roberts-Newman and 85-year-old Edward Roberts.
Saying that as one, the oldest one, and this community now we could move around, I would like to leave a message for the younger who coming up that we should never let the old flag fall on High Rock. High Rock is a place where everybody would love to come to High Rock. But we need the younger people to rise up to hold the fort, that when people come into this community, they'll know that some good have come out of High Rock.
In other news, the Grand Bahama Health Services, in conjunction with the Hawksville Clinic, recently hosting a community health and wellness program. All residents from the Southern District were invited to take advantage of various services offered free of charge. Megan Shepard was there.
Residents in the Southern District were treated to a full day of knowledge and fun thanks to the Grand Bahama Health Services and the Hawksville Community Clinic. Various partners and departments of the hospital spending the day hosting talk sessions and giving free medical advice to those that turned out. Hospital Administrator Sharon Williams says that the goal is to focus on overall population health.
We want to make sure that our community remains healthy, know what it is that's required to be healthy, and that they continue a healthy lifestyle. Today's program involves a number of health and wellness.
Williams adds that they want the population to live overall healthy lifestyles, taking care of themselves both inside and out. She says that in the event of sickness, she wants persons to become comfortable using the clinics as a first option.
We want them to use our community clinics as a primary health care and first contact. Our goal is to keep them out of hospitals. As we say, our hospital is just in case you are ill, then there is somewhere that you can have extended treatment. But we want our population to remain healthy.
Physician manager at the clinic, Dr. Karis Thompson-Major, says that this initiative allows persons to get first-hand information on what it is they offer at the facility.
We want people to know that we are here not just when you're sick, but we're also here to help you when you're well, to advise you on how to remain well. And so we have lots of information available. We have lots of skilled, talented, knowledgeable persons that work here who can give you that kind of information.
The clinic was recently adopted by the Freeport Rotary Club. President Lauren Miller says it was a pleasure to come on board and give back to the community.
We have grocery items. We have 50 bags of grocery items we're giving back, and they're all a full meal for any person who come and need a meal. They're a full package meal for a family of 5. Yes, and we also want to thank Cost Right, because they partnered with the Freeport Rotary Club, and in aid we partnered with the Hawksville Clinic.
Officials of the Grand Bahama Health Services say they plan to continue these types of initiatives at the various clinics on the island. Megan Shepard, ZNS Network News.
Hi and welcome. I'd like to continue our discussion on food poisoning. Food poisoning, also called foodborne illness, is caused by eating contaminated food. Whether you become ill after eating contaminated food depends on the organism, the amount of exposure, your age, and your health. Those most susceptible to food poisoning and its complications include older adults, pregnant women, infants and children, and people with chronic diseases. Having a chronic condition reduces your immune response. The most common serious complication of food poisoning is dehydration, which is a severe loss of water and essential salts and minerals. Infants and older adults and people with chronic illnesses or suppressed immune systems such as diabetes, liver disease or AIDS, or receiving chemotherapy or radiation therapy for cancer may become severely dehydrated when they lose more fluids than they can replace. In that case, they may need to be admitted to the hospital to receive IV fluids. I'm Dr. Monique Pratt, and this has been Ask the Doctor.
So Serene Manufacturing, we started in 2016, and we manufacture toilet paper and hand towels. To date, we're only the second toilet paper manufacturing company in the Bahamas and the first here on Grand Bahama. We have our own brand, Amy Soft. We manufacture from scratch. It's made right here in the Bahamas by Bahamians. And we hope to at one point or one day be able to export Toilet paper is 2-ply, gently embossed. We have like 350 sheets on every roll. The paper itself is biodegradable, septic safe, and it's clog free. We're open to the public. Anybody can come in. So you can come in and do commercial purchases or retail purchases right here at our location. Right now, our prices are very competitive. I think probably the most competitive priced toilet tissue on the island. We're located on Milton Street, just west of BWA. Our phone number here is 352-7668. Our email address is Serene Manufacturing, that's SERENE manufacturing @gmail.com.
Jay, what's happening in sports tonight?
Well, the Commercial League playoff is heating up, and it felt like Game 7 of the NBA Finals at the YMCA Gymnasium last night.
Okay, stay with us. There's more when we return.
Falco Express introduces their new air freight services, swift and reliable. Have you joined the Falco Nation? Call today.